Imagine the year is 1985. A small fishing village, Shenzhen. Population, 30,000 people. Over the past 40 years, this backwater has transformed into China's Silicon Valley, increasing its GDP by 10,000 times. How was a global techno-center born before our very eyes, and how will technologies already being tested there be implemented around the world tomorrow? Let's explore what futurologists mean when they talk about the city of the future. It's all Hong Kong's fault and Chinese envy, and also the amazing ability of the Chinese to build quickly and cheaply. The strip of land and swamps right on the border with the then independent Hong Kong, which by the standards of the 70s was a financial and trading giant, looked, to put it mildly, pathetic. The contrast was striking. The Chinese authorities wanted to prove that they too could achieve this, not through military force, but through an economic breakthrough. Thus began the Great Acceleration. It was launched by two key transformations. The first was the policy of openness. China allowed international trade, joint ventures with foreign companies, and welcomed investment from all over the world. The second was the creation of special economic zones, one of the first and most important of which was Shenzhen. The plan was actually simple but risky. China had a huge labor force. All that remained was to attract investment from foreign companies. To achieve this, they were exempted from duties and corporate taxes. Of course, it was a kind of experiment. Huge investments flowed into infrastructure, industry, and transport. Initially, Shenzhen became the world's factory. Components and finished products for the world's largest brands were produced there. However, a transformation began as early as the 90s. The city authorities focused on raising the technological level and creating their own brands. Technology parks and research centers were founded. Active support for technological and high-tech startups began. In just a few decades, the city made a leap from cheap manufacturing to high-tech industries. Gradually, national tech giants like Huawei, Tencent, DJI, and BYD began to appear there. Shenzhen was recognized as a smart city in 2024 for its ambitious digital transformation initiatives. Key components include the development of high-speed broadband networks, the use of digital twin technologies to manage urban systems, and the integration of artificial intelligence into city management. The city has created its own digital twin, a virtual model of the entire metropolis, which can be used to simulate traffic, energy consumption, and infrastructure changes. Data is collected in real time and used to make management decisions. Shenzhen also has robust intelligent security systems built on video surveillance, IoT sensor technology, and AI-based analytics. The city government is testing robot police officers. An android PM01 from Engine AI walks the streets accompanied by human colleagues, amazing passers-by. Developers assure that the robot is capable of more, for example, moving autonomously in a crowd, voicing useful information or warnings, and in the future, interacting with people. The city stands out for combining online and offline elder care resources to provide personalized services, such as meal delivery and emergency assistance, which improve quality of life. Tencent, a national-scale tech giant, is particularly interested in robotics for elder care. The four-legged robot Butfa can autonomously navigate hospitals and institutions and perform simple tasks with its hands. A special feature of the robot, in addition to its high stability, is the sensory skin covering almost the entire surface of its hands. This allows Butfa to gently and carefully help people with limited mobility to arise and be carried. Notably, the city government listens to citizens' opinions. Shenzhen residents can obtain information, leave feedback, and make suggestions on specially created platforms such as Community Home Network and Palm App. Shenzhen is investing billions in the development of quantum computing. Research clusters operate there, and the government supports high-tech startups and laboratories. The city authorities are implementing AI-based solutions in a predictive analytics system, capable of forecasting potential accidents and threats. The city is also funding the construction of 20 new high-tech industry clusters. They will cover telecommunications, semiconductors, bio and nanotechnology, electric transport, and new materials. The total area will be 300 kilometers squared. Together, they will form the backbone of Chinese industry for the next 30 years. Even the architecture in the city is innovative. It's not just aesthetics, it's functionality. Skyscrapers with solar panels, energy-efficient offices, and urban spaces that combine nature and technology. For example, the Yantian Center building. Its concept is based on the Chinese idiom, flowers blooming with richness, which is clearly reflected in its architectural outline. The spiral volume echoes the bougainvillea flower, a symbol of Shenzhen. Or take DJI's headquarters. The project consists of 200-meter towers, 40 and 44 stories respectively, connected by a 90-meter bridge. This is the first use of an asymmetrical suspended steel structure in towers of this height. Floating blocks containing office space and research and development centers are suspended from the central cores by large megatrusses, creating the illusion of levitating towers when viewed from a distance. Interestingly, 4-story rooms for drone flight tests have been created inside the buildings. The most interesting thing is that Shenzhen is a true capital of robots. It is home to startups like Robotics, a developer of humanoid robots capable of performing complex manufacturing tasks such as assembly and quality control. At the same time, the company, which receives significant government subsidies, is experimenting with household robot companions, although it admits that their time has not yet come due to the lack of an intelligent component. The hardware platform is already quite good, considering that, according to the developers, their robot, for example Walker X, immediately learned to ride a bicycle. The next startup is Magic Lab, which in January introduced its third-generation humanoid robot, MagicBot. Moreover, according to the company, an entire fleet of robots is already being trained at its plant. In particular, in a released promotional video, MagicBot is shown performing tasks like product inspection, material handling, picking, placing parts, scanning, and warehousing. Suribot, the developer of the Suribot S1 humanoid home robot, is also based in Shenzhen. The company's android is positioned as a home assistant that performs household tasks with high speed and accuracy. The robot can move at speeds up to 10 meters per second and lift up to 10 kilograms with each arm. Also based in China's Silicon Valley are startups like Robot Engine AI, with its incredibly dexterous bot PM01, Limex Dynamics, which is developing both humanoid and quadruped platforms, and of course the well-known Unitree Robotics, to name just a few. If Shenzhen aims to be the world's innovation capital, its transport must be appropriate. Let's start with the metro. For example, Gangsha North Station is a true underground architectural sensation covering an area of 220,000 square meters. That's, by the way, 3 Vaticans. In general, the subway in Shenzhen is not just a means of transportation, it's a whole philosophy of comfort. A consultant will answer any questions, and if you're too lazy to get out your card or stand in line, you can register your face as a ticket and pass through the turnstiles like a science fiction hero. Ground transport is not far behind either. Shenzhen has become the first city in China to allow fully driverless cars on public roads. As early as 2020, the startup AutoX launched a fleet of 2 autonomous taxis in the city. Later, other tech players joined the race: WeRide, Pony.ai, and the giant Baidu, a kind of Chinese Google, with its Apollo Go brand. Hundreds of their autonomous vehicles are already operating in 7 major cities in China, with Shenzhen being one of the main test sites. Moreover, WeRide went even further, developing autonomous buses that transport passengers without a driver. Inside, cameras, lidars, and neural networks. Outside, everyday silence and absolute calm. The city authorities haven't forgotten about air taxis and drones either. There are plans to spend nearly $2 billion over 2 years to build infrastructure for flying cars and unmanned delivery services. By 2026, there should be at least 1,200 landing platforms. At the same time, the city is already delivering food via drones to smart pickup kiosks. The drone arrives, unloads the order, and that's it. You walk up, Enter your phone number and get your noodles or coffee straight from the air. And if you don't want to go anywhere at all, you can order lunch to your door and a robot will deliver it. This is Hercules from the startup UD. These little wheeled robots are capable of carrying loads weighing up to a ton. They are quite autonomous, although their speed is limited to 30 kilometers per hour. To date, Shenzhen has developed 4 plans to implement AI in urban infrastructure, covering about 200 use cases. Full digitalization of e-government processes, smart homes with sensor and video surveillance systems, an intelligent transport network where AI decides when and where to turn on traffic lights, how to create a green wave for cars and emergency services, and so on. By 2030, Shenzhen will no longer be just a city. It will be a digital matrix in which every movement, every service, every light bulb is synchronized with a giant intelligence, all supported by modern machines. The life of an ordinary person in such a city should be as comfortable as possible. Driverless vehicles safely take you anywhere, your home adapts to your preferences, and the streets are clean and safe thanks to robocops and robocleaners. Products are always fresh, and if you don't feel like cooking, a robot or drone will deliver a hot dinner. Or maybe it won't deliver it, but just cook it. Emergency and law enforcement systems operate in a preventive mode rather than a mitigation mode. This isn't life, it's a fairy tale. Thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't miss new releases from the world of high technology. Bye!